What is the four-body system, and how can this idea provide a different context, not just for our everyday vitality, also for our purpose and for our calling? All great questions. Let's jump into it. Welcome back, adepts and initiates. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't yet to remain current on all the content that comes out on this channel. All right, so the idea of a four-body system is something that really is very near and dear to my heart. Also is the core of all the concepts that we'll be exploring on this channel. So we're going to introduce it today in terms of what exactly that means and how it is relevant to you in each and every moment. Before we get started though, take a look at this here. We have a square with one side physical, another marked as mental, another marked as emotional, and the final side, the top of which is marked spiritual. Now before we get started, in a moment, I want you to go ahead and just take a real quick inventory on your own life. Where on this square are you, and where's your focus at, and how does it rank? Meaning that you're going to take a moment to mark yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where you would identify yourself in terms of your physical component right now, 1 being low, 10 being high. We'll say that's physical fitness, that's how you eat, that's how you sleep, all of those things. Mental is going to be, more of those aspects in terms of learning, in terms of growing as a person, in terms of your finances. Emotional, largely, though not exclusively, related to your relationships and how you feel, not just your relationship for yourself, also with those around you. Spiritual, really broad, we'll just say, how inspired are you living your life right now? So go ahead and hit pause now and go ahead and take inventory 1 through 10 on each of these 4 sides. Welcome back. How'd you do? Take a moment just to sit in reflection on that in terms of your own physical well-being, your mental and emotional health, as well as spiritual connectivity. Where did you rank yourself and how do you feel you did? For me, I would say, just kind of eyeballing this at this moment, physical, I'd say I'm probably at like a 7. I've been a little sick the past couple of weeks with the boys' cold, so I've been taking it easy, haven't been working out as much, though I've definitely been getting in a good amount of nourishing foods. Mental, I'd say I'd probably be at like an 8. Just finished off a 3-week course. I'm starting off on another 12-month course, and so I'm learning a bunch. I'm also working on my finances and revamping all of those, so I'm in a really, I feel, solid place there. Emotional, I'll say also as well, an 8. I feel like I've been doing a lot with both my journaling and therapy and just working with somatic stress within the body to really be very attentive to what my physicality has been processing, as well as what's happening within my emotions and my feelings. Spiritual, I'm going to say I'm actually at a 7. And the reason that I say that right now is because I did a pretty intense working about 2 weeks back, and I'm just allowing the space of openness to be. And so while living still very much inspired in my life in terms of the daily practices, I've been really just focusing on things that help to be more regenerative and restorative rather than some of the deeper workings that I have been working upon. And so I'd say it's balance-ish, 7, 8 right now in a lot of the areas of my life. There's definitely room to grow on all of them. And so wherever you are right now is perfect, because all we're doing is we're taking inventory. We're getting to know a little bit more about where you are now so that we can better identify where it is that you want to be. Now, just a little bit more on this. This is what's called a peace of mind square. This gives us a very brief synopsis of where you are in your life, and that gives us direction so that we can focus more attentively on which of these aspects you want to really connect with, you want to explore, you want to grow. Where are you really solid in your life already? And using that as a foundation to be able to build up from there. Briefly, I'm going to go through each and every one of these, and then we'll have separate videos that'll go and focus upon them individually. So in terms of this, the physical aspect that we're going to talk about largely relates to our physical atomic body. This is where we are in terms of our own physical fitness. Anything that we're dealing with in terms of like disease or dysfunction also ties into the kinds of foods that we're eating, the quality of water, the level of sleep that we get in each and every day. It's a great reflection because the physical atomic body ties to both our mental body, or light body systems, as well as our emotional or dark matter body systems, as well as our spiritual and energetic body systems as well. It is indeed our greatest testimony to where we are in our lives. Mental body. Now that's really looking at things in terms of relationship to the level of learning, how engaged we are in terms of mental and cognitive activity. That can be anything from learning a new skill, going through a course. It could also be something that is related to our finances as well. These different flows in terms of all these aspects that allow us to really connect, not just to a place of intellect, also to a place of imagination. So coherence in this is also a big part of it, because if we're just focusing on one aspect in terms of like the logical and analytical, methodical aspects of ourselves without attending to those pieces that are tied more to our imagination, then it really is one-sided. Emotional. We're going to talk about this a little bit differently, because the emotional aspect is really going to be related to our relationships. And our relationship that we want to look at first and foremost is that intrapersonal relationship, that relationship that I have with me, and how that just naturally emanates and radiates into other connections that I have interpersonally, professionally, and within my community, because this place in terms of the sensations of my own emotions, my connection to the feelings and what's happening within my subconscious mind is very key and actually pretty critical in terms of both mental health and physical fitness. Lastly, on the spiritual aspect, spiritual connectivity really relates to our connection to what truly inspires us. And that can be everything in terms of connections with other people. That can be living in alignment with personal values. That can be our own relationship with the divine power, God, universe, source, however each and every one of us describes it. Yet this aspect really ties to the energies that we're bringing in, and also how energized we are in our daily lives. So when we look at this as a very simple exercise in terms of the peace of mind square, where we are ranking, again, 1 through 10 in terms of where we feel we are in our own lives, gives us instantaneous feedback in terms of our own perspective, as well as where it is that we want to, and can be more intentional within our lives. That's it for now, though. Love and aloha, take care, and ahui ho.